friends, this is a Bijou Baker. I'm Maria. Today I'm going to help you with the Thanksgiving dessert table. This is another great gift idea. I mean, any time of the year. I do not do pumpkin only for fall. I love this stuff. So this pumpkin bread is probably the moist, delicious bread I've ever had, and it is moist. This batch will make 3 loaves, good sized loaves. You want to make sure to grease this. I just spray it with vegetable oil. That's all I'm going to do to this. 3 of them. That's a pretty generous recipe. I've got my mise en place. Let me show you what we're going to use. All right. Let me make it so you can see it better. My mise en place, like I say, is always in order on a tray. For me, on a tray. It doesn't have to be, but I know that everything on my recipe, as I go, I check it off. Nothing's going to be missed, and it's all ready to go and just on point. I start off with 3.5 cups of flour, 3 cups of sugar. I know that's a lot, but remember, we're making 3 loaves. 1 can of pumpkin, 4 eggs, and you're going to just slightly beat them a little bit. You don't really have to. I probably won't, only because when you start going, this just goes really fast, which is what I like. 2/3 cup of water, 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil, and then we've got the yummy stuff. We've got 2 teaspoons of baking soda. That's going to help it rise. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. That's going to keep it flat. Not flat like a cake, just sturdy. And in here, we've got a teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of clove, which is pretty strong stuff, so you don't want a lot. A teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of nutmeg, and 2 teaspoons of allspice. That's everything. So with the, someone had asked me if they could use olive oil to make it richer. No. No. You don't bake with olive oil unless a recipe specifically states it, and I have yet to see one. Doesn't mean it's not out there. I'm just saying I have yet to see one. It's too heavy. So if you try to make a light dessert, the olive oil is just going to weigh it down. So I need 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil. All right, everything else is good to go. All right, we're going to get, I'm not ready, 2 bowls, one for our dry and one for our wet. All right, got my oven turned on to 350. This bread is going to take a while. It's going to take about an hour. So in my dry bowl ingredient, I'm going to put in my flour, my baking soda, and my baking powder, and all my spices. Isn't that pretty? I gotta get out more. And then just mix them together. And it's so funny because people who bake, they do this without thinking about it. And so someone new might be thinking, why bother if it's all gonna go in the same bowl? Because you don't want it to go in the same bowl in blotches. It's gonna go in the same bowl, but now it's so evenly dispersed that it'll be much easier. All right, now my wet ingredients. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my eggs in here. And you do want your ingredients to be at room temperature. It's just gonna combine so much better that way. All right. I've got my eggs and my sugar. And this will look like wet sand. And you're just going to really mix it until it's together. I love these glass bowls because you can see the bottom. And you can see that there's no sugar spots. All right, I'm going to put in the oil. And this is where it's going to take a little bit of work, a little bit, really, just a little bit, to combine them, because you can see that they're separating. Can you see that? See how the oil is on top? Yeah. Well, you're just going to have to convince it to be friendly. This right here is probably the hardest part of the whole thing. You can use a mixer, a hand mixer, a stand mixer, if you want to. There's something about mixing by hand, for me, that I love that. I just love doing that. All right, now I'm going to add the pumpkin. Now, use, as long as it's pure pumpkin puree, it doesn't matter. This was on sale. That's my favorite price. Well, my favorite price is free, but not a whole can. This is about a 15 ounce. You know, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why canned pumpkin, my opinion on canned pumpkin versus fresh pumpkin. Okay, this stuff is ready to go. Okay, first off, the convenience of it is just perfect. If I take a pumpkin, I cut it up and I roast it and I make it really soft and I put it in a blender, I'm going to get a puree, but this has seasonings and spices already in it. So when I bake with it, I know it's just going to really combine well with my own ingredients, just to make it that much better. If you only want to use fresh pumpkin, you knock your socks off, baby. All right, so I'm gonna, just like when you're making cake, you put in dry and then a little bit of wet, and then dry and a little bit of wet. Same process here. And there's no rhyme or reason. I mean, do whatever you're comfortable with. If this is intimidating to you, then do 10 different sections. It doesn't matter. And then just before it's full, add a little water. Why are you doing that? That's my other voice. Just to incorporate it better. Look, I could have used that, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna try to make it sound like there's some wonderful, great scientific way. Nope. I just don't want to. By now, you're going to feel it getting heavier. Definitely heavier. You added a lot more flour, so yeah. But once you put in the water, it's going to thin it out a little bit. And then add a little bit more. And then do the same to the last. The longest part of this bread is baking and cooling. That's it. And when you have your mise en place, your ingredients and your things in place, you just pop this baby out. If you don't like pumpkin, I'm sorry. I don't know that, no, I was going to say, I don't know that I've ever heard anybody who doesn't like pumpkin, but there, I did have a friend who didn't, and, well, I liked her anyways. But for those of us who do like pumpkin, and I love pumpkin, this is one of the recipes you're definitely going to want to keep out. Now, it makes 3 large loaves, but you can also use those individual little small mini loaves, fill those up, and you've got a great addition for a nice little gift basket. That's it. You must know by now, I hate leaving even the tiniest drop. Well, what are you gonna do? And just spray the bottoms well because you want it to slide out. The bread will pull into itself, so the sides will separate easily. But the bottom, you really want that one more than the sides. All right, this way. Okay. I am just guesstimating. That's all right. I always kind of hope that the bottom one will be a lot less so we can just eat that here. You know what? I am going to make it less, and I'm going to just put a little bit more in here. I've made this tons of times, and there's always plenty for 3. But I'm going to put a little bit more. Yep. I'm going to put a little bit more in these because these are going to be presented, and I really want that. They're going to rise nicely. So this part is just my snack size. One of my favorite sounds. I promise you, it really does make three big loaves. I'm just being very generous with this particular, these 2, because they're going to be gifts. You'll see, this one's going to rise up a lot. Okay, you put them on the center baking rack just because that's where the air is the most even. Alexa, set the timer for 55 minutes.
55 minutes, starting now.
Okay, so we'll wait. Oh. Okay, so, oh man, those look good. I think they're too high for you. You're going to take a skewer and poke it in all the way lengthwise. Perfect. Perfect. Beautiful. Man, those look awesome. And I love, I'm really glad that I didn't make 3 separate ones. Now, had I made 3 separate ones, they would all be about, I don't know, can you see? About here. Okay, it'd still be great, believe me. It wouldn't have this dome, and I love, for gift giving, I love that dome. It is very homemade, well, because it is. Now, because I'm going to give these gifts, I'm not going to slice them, but you can see how beautiful they present. If you want to make someone feel welcomed in your home, make those babies. The home smells amazing. Okay, my friends, until next time, happy baking.
Ah, that was fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe.